April 21st, 1945. 3 floors beneath Berlin. Adolf Hitler, shaking, sleepless, half-blind, screams at the one man he has trusted with his body for 9 straight years. "You wanted to drug me with morphine. You wanted to hand me to the Russians as a sleeping prisoner," and throws his personal physician out of the bunker. The man being thrown out is not a real doctor. He is a Berlin skin specialist from Kurfürstendamm, a man every surgeon in the Reich calls a Shyster, a quack, a fraud. And yet, for 9 years, he was the only person Adolf Hitler ever let put a needle into his veins. On the last plane out of Berlin, he carries 1 suitcase. Inside, an 885-page diary. Every dose, every compound, every secret. The Americans will seize it 3 weeks later and lock it away for 36 years. Because what is written inside those pages explains why Stalingrad collapsed, why the Führer refused every retreat order, and why every honest doctor who tried to stop the man with the needle ended on trial, in a cell, or on a Nuremberg rope. But this man? He vanished from Berlin on a Junkers transport. He died free, in a quiet German town by a lake. The only person in the entire Reich medical establishment who got away. This is his story. Berlin, 1936. Kurfürstendamm Boulevard, the most expensive address in the capital. Behind a brass plate on the door, a 50-year-old physician runs a private practice. His name is Theodor Morell. He treats 2 kinds of patients: wealthy actors with venereal disease, bored bankers with skin rashes. He gives them golden injections he calls vitamin therapy. They feel renewed for 48 hours. They pay in cash. They come back. Real doctors in Berlin will not speak his name. Medical journals call him a Kurfürsten, a quack. He failed his university honors. He served as a ship's doctor on luxury cruise liners, a job real surgeons mock. He is the son of a village schoolteacher from Hesse, class wound permanent. But on Kurfürstendamm, Morell has learned one thing the elite of German medicine has never learned. Rich people don't want to be told to rest. They want to feel powerful before lunch. That fall, the official photographer of the Nazi party, Heinrich Hoffmann, contracts gonorrhea from a chorus girl. He cannot go to a public hospital. He goes to the only doctor in Berlin who treats it quietly, Theodor Morell. Morell cures Hoffmann in 3 weeks. Hoffmann is grateful, and Hoffmann is one of 2 civilians in all of Germany who can walk into Adolf Hitler's private dining room without an appointment. Christmas 1936, Hoffmann's house in Munich. Hitler is complaining. Stomach cramps, a weeping eczema on his right leg that no doctor can heal. He is 47 years old. He has just confided in his inner circle in writing that he believes he will be dead within a year. Hoffmann waves Morell over. The Shyster sits down across from the Führer of Germany and studies him for 10 silent seconds, the way he has studied wealthy actresses for 20 years. He sees it, the hypochondria, the fear of weakness, the need to be told he is special. Morell does not promise a cure. He promises an outcome. Mein Führer, in 1 year you will be well. Hitler accepts, out of desperation, not faith. Morell prescribes capsules of a German bacterial preparation, Mutaflor, live E. coli cultures to repopulate the gut. It is, by accident, the one thing Morell will ever prescribe that is genuinely evidence-based medicine. Within 4 weeks, Hitler's stomach cramps stop. Within 12, the eczema closes. Hitler, who believes his body is uniquely sensitive, decides he has found a medical messiah, personal physician to the Führer. In Morell's leather-bound diary, Hitler is no longer Hitler. He is given a code name to protect medical confidentiality, Patient A. The real doctors of the Reich are appalled. Karl Brandt, 33 years old, brilliant surgeon. Hitler's escort physician since 1934, demands to see Morell's medical records. Hitler refuses. Hans Karl von Hasselbach, second escort surgeon, writes a private letter calling Morell a danger to the head of state. Hermann Goering walks past Morell in a corridor at the Reich Chancellery and says loudly enough for staff to hear, "Ah, The Reichsspritzenmeister has arrived, the Imperial Master of Injections. The nickname will stick for 9 years, but Morell is no longer just a doctor. Using his sudden access to power, he legally acquires a pharmaceutical factory in occupied Czechoslovakia, confiscated from its Jewish owners. He patents a golden vitamin powder he names Vitamolten. He signs Wehrmacht contracts worth millions of Reichsmarks. He owns shares in Heal, Hageda, 3 pharmaceutical labs. In 1944, Hitler will legally award him the Knight's Cross of the War Merit Cross, the highest civilian decoration in the Reich. By 1939, Morell is one of the wealthiest civilians in Germany. He has done it without curing a single serious disease. He has done it by selling one product, a small, square, golden tablet, stamped with his own initials, TM. Nobody at the Reich Chancellery asks what is inside it. 1941, Operation Barbarossa. Germany invades the Soviet Union. 3 million men cross the border. In the Wolf's Lair, Hitler's forward command bunker, Theodor Morell unpacks a black leather case. Inside, dozens of glass ampoules, a nickel-plated syringe. He is about to begin the most extreme pharmaceutical experiment in the history of European medicine, performed on a single patient. The recipe, reconstructed by historians from Morell's own diary, looks like this. Morning, before military briefings. A Vitamolten injection, not the version sold to civilians. The version reserved for patient A contains methamphetamine, branded in Germany as Pervitin. A central nervous system stimulant strong enough to keep tank crews awake for 50 hours. Hitler receives it directly into the vein. Midday, before public speeches, glucose plus liver extract from pigs. A bull testicle hormone preparation called testosterone for libido and aggression. Evening for sleep. Brom nervacid, Fanodorm, Luminal, 3 different barbiturates stacked for digestion. Dr. Koster's anti-gas pills, 8 to 16 per day. Active ingredients, extract of Nux vomica containing strychnine, and Atropa belladonna containing arsenic. By 1943, Theodor Morell will inject Adolf Hitler with 73 different substances. More than 800 documented injections in that year alone. Hans Karl von Hasselbach corners Morell in a hallway. "What are you giving him?" Morell smiles and walks past. That night, Hasselbach writes to Martin Bormann, Hitler's chief of staff. Bormann reads the letter, then quietly has Morell visit Bormann's wife, Gerda, for renewal therapy. She feels wonderful. Bormann sides with Morell. Brandt requests a formal medical consultation. Hitler personally cancels it. The Shyster has now neutralized Goering, Hasselbach, and Brandt, 3 of the most powerful men in German medicine, using nothing but a syringe and the secret it carries. Then, on July 20th, 1944, a Wehrmacht colonel named Klaus von Stauffenberg places a briefcase under a conference table at the Wolf's Lair, and everything changes. The bomb tears the conference barracks apart. 4 officers killed. Hitler survives. Eardrums perforated. Right arm useless. Severe tremor. Burst capillaries in both eyes. Morell is the first medical professional to reach him. He injects. He injects again. Within an hour, Hitler walks out, pale, deafened, but vertical, to meet Mussolini at the train platform. The Italian dictator stares at him in disbelief. Hitler keeps standing. The chemistry holding him upright? Eucodal, a semi-synthetic opioid compound, the German name for oxycodone. More euphoric than morphine, more habit-forming than heroin. 20 milligrams direct to vein, a dose normally reserved for terminal cancer patients, plus a 10% cocaine solution applied to the ears, the eyes, the nasal passages, to kill the pain, to clear his head. For the next 9 months, this becomes the daily protocol. A Wehrmacht stenographer records what he sees. Hitler enters morning briefings shaking like a leaf. 20 minutes after the injection, calm, glowing, confident. 2 hours later, euphoric. refusing every retreat order, demanding offensives that no longer exist on the map. Field Marshal Heinz Guderian, chief of the Army General Staff, will later write in his memoirs, "He no longer listened to reason. He was no longer in our world. Stalingrad has already been lost. Kursk has already been lost. The Allies have landed in Normandy. Paris has fallen." But Hitler, on Ucadal, signs order after order forbidding any German soldier to retreat. Karl Brandt, the surgeon Hitler has known for 10 years, enters Hitler's private bathroom at the Berghof. He finds a wooden box on the shelf. He opens it. 16 Koster pills. He counts them. He reads the label. He goes pale. Brandt has been a surgeon for 15 years. He recognizes strychnine when he sees it. He recognizes arsenic when he sees it. He has just realized that the personal physician of the Führer of Germany is slowly poisoning the head of state. He picks up the box. He walks out. He will write a report. October 1944. Karl Brandt is no longer alone. He has formed a quiet alliance. Hasselbach, second escort physician. Heinrich Himmler, head of the SS, who has his own suspicions. And in the background, Hermann Goering, who has loathed Morell for years. 4 of the most powerful men in the Reich against 1 Berlin skin doctor. Brandt files a formal medical report. Subject: the chronic poisoning of the head of state. Evidence: laboratory analysis of the Koster pills. Conclusion: Morell is killing Hitler in slow motion. The report reaches Hitler's desk. What happens next is the moment that defines the entire 9-year story. Hitler reads the report. Hitler explodes. Not at Morell, at Brandt. "You wanted to remove the only man who has ever helped me." Hitler dismisses Brandt immediately, strips him of every medical privilege. Hasselbach is dismissed too. Goering's complaints are ignored. Himmler quietly drops it. The Shyster has just defeated the entire medical establishment of the Third Reich, using nothing but the addiction he created. Eva Braun, Hitler's companion since 1932, refuses to let Morell touch her. She tells a maid, "He is a disgusting man. He smells. I would rather die than let him examine me." She is not exaggerating. Hitler's own valet, Heinz Linge, records that Morell's body odor enters a room before he does. He sweats heavily. He rarely bathes between patients. Hitler himself has complained. But Hitler does not dismiss him, because by now, Hitler cannot get out of bed without him. By January 1945, Morell is injecting Hitler approximately 80 times per week. The Führer's veins are so destroyed by repeated punctures that Morell writes in his diary, "Today, I could find no vein on the left arm. I attempted the right. After 4 tries, success." 48 surviving entries record the same problem. Hitler is no longer a man. He is a medical artifact, held vertical by chemistry, held in command by a quack. And the quack is now writing everything down. Every dose, every drug, every reaction. 885 pages. Why? February 1945. The Führer bunker beneath the Reich Chancellery. 16 meters of reinforced concrete above. Red Army artillery audible through the ventilation shafts. Theodor Morell is now 58 years old, nearly 240 pounds, diabetic, heart failure. He sweats through 3 uniforms a day in a bunker without sunlight. But every night, before he sleeps, he writes. Date, time, patient A, dose, reaction. He has been writing since 1937, 885 pages. 2 theories among historians explain why. Theory 1, self-protection. Morell knows the war is lost. He knows there will be tribunals. He knows the diary proves he was ordered to administer everything he administered. The diary is his alibi. Theory 2, he has no idea. He is simply a compulsive record keeper, a quack who became the most powerful doctor in Europe by accident and who does not understand what he has witnessed. Both may be true. Above ground, Karl Brandt is in a Gestapo cell, charged with treason. The treason charge is, officially, that Brandt evacuated his wife and children from Berlin without authorization, intending to surrender them to Western forces. Unofficially, every officer in the bunker knows the real charge. Brandt tried to stop Morell. Hitler signs the death warrant. April 17, 1945. 3 floors underground. Hitler asks Morell for an injection. His tremor is so violent he cannot hold a teacup. Morell loads the syringe. He cannot find a vein. He tries. He tries again. The diary records, after 6 attempts, successful. April 19, 1945. Hitler's last birthday. 56 years old. The bunker staff gathers in the corridor. Morell brings a syringe of Eucadol. Hitler refuses it. Then, 2 hours later, asks for it. April 21, 1945. The scene we opened with. Hitler's hands will not stop shaking. Morell prepares 1 Mover injection. Hitler looks at him and screams the sentence that ends 9 years. You wanted to drug me with morphine. You wanted to hand me to the Russians as a sleeping prisoner. Get out of my bunker. Morell stares. The diary stays open on the table. He picks it up. He closes it. He walks out. He does not say goodbye. April 23, 1945. Tempelhof Airfield. Berlin is being shelled from 3 directions. One of the last Luftwaffe transports lifts off, a Junkers Ju-52, propellers screaming. Inside, 17 passengers, 3 suitcases, 1 leather-bound diary. The plane lands in Munich. Morell vanishes into his villa at Bad Reichenhall, a quiet alpine town near the Austrian border. He hides for 3 weeks. May 17, 1945. The U.S. Army Counterintelligence Corps arrives at the villa. They have a list. Morell is on it. He does not resist. He hands over the diary voluntarily. He is transported to Camp Seibert, then to Nuremberg, then to the interrogation center at Oberursel. U.S. Army doctors examine him. They expect a war criminal. They find a sweating, obese, half-mad civilian who weeps when asked about Hitler. They write reports. The reports use a phrase that will follow Morell into every history book. Incompetent Shyster. Professionally unfit. Mental capacity significantly reduced. Meanwhile, in the same building, Karl Brandt is being prosecuted. The doctor's trial. 23 defendants. Charges. Experiments on prisoners. Crimes against humanity. Brandt is sentenced to death on August 20, 1947. The surgeon who tried to save Hitler from poisoning will hang. The quack who actually administered the poisons walks free. Morell is never charged with any war crime, not one. The Americans determined that, technically, every substance he administered to Hitler was legally available in the Reich and legally prescribed. The fact that the combination was destroying the central nervous system of the head of state, that, the prosecutors say, is a medical opinion, not a crime. In 1947, the Americans release him. He has nowhere to go. His Berlin practice is rubble. His Czech factory is in the Soviet zone, seized and dismantled. His wife, Hannelore, has divorced him during his detention. His millions are in frozen Reichsbank accounts that no longer exist. He travels south, to a town by a lake, to his sister's house, a quiet German town called Tegernsee. Tegernsee, May 1948, a psychiatric clinic on the shore of a deep alpine lake. Theodor Morell sits by a window. He is 61 years old. He weighs nearly 300 pounds. He has survived 2 strokes. He cannot speak clearly. He cannot lift his right arm. He stares at the water. Hermann Goering, who called Morell the Reichsspritzenmeister, took a chemical compound in his Nuremberg cell, October 15, 1946. Hans Karl von Hasselbach, Brandt's ally, spent 2 years in Allied detention. In Landsberg prison, 80 kilometers north, Karl Brandt is in his final cell, awaiting the gallows. Every man who tried to stop the Shyster, dead, disgraced, or condemned. The Shyster sits by a lake. On May 26, 1948, Theodor Morell suffers a 3rd stroke. He dies in bed, quietly, free of natural causes. 1 week later, June 2, 1948, Karl Brandt walks to the gallows at Landsberg. He spends his last words protesting his innocence. The trapdoor opens. 6 other Reich doctors hang the same day. Morell is buried in a small grave at the Tegernsee Parish Cemetery. The headstone gives only his name and dates. No medical title, no state honor. No mention of 9 years of service to a head of state. Nothing. The diary travels separately to Washington, to the U.S. National Archives. 885 pages of methamphetamine doses, opioid injections, strychnine pills, bull hormone shots, cocaine solutions. It will remain classified until 1981. For 36 years, no historian, no journalist, no German citizen knows exactly what was being injected into the man who ordered the Second World War. When the diary is finally released, historians read it with a kind of horror. They calculate the doses. They reconstruct the timeline. They map the injections onto the dates of Hitler's worst military decisions: Stalingrad, Kursk, the refusal to retreat from Normandy, the orders that killed millions in 1944 and 1945. Every one of them issued by a head of state on a chemical regimen administered by one Berlin skin doctor, a Shyster, who outlasted every real doctor in the Reich, who died free by a lake. The Imperial Master of Injections. His name was Theodor Morell, and the only honest record of what he did was written by his own hand in a diary the Americans hid for 36 years because nobody wanted to read what was inside.